guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. All right, guys, it is Sunday, May 12th, Mother's Day. So, happy Mother's Day to you guys who are mothers or are going to be mothers, hope to be mothers. And of course, we were all born from a mother, so it applies to all of us. I think Mother's Day is probably one of the most popular days on the calendar. But I had a wonderful Mother's Day with my mother and my stepfather, and I had them for a lovely meal, and it's been a long day. So, but I was delighted to see that Q had posted today. So that is good news because I know we've been waiting, it seems like forever, for Q to post, and he has today. And there, apparently this coming week is going to be a boom week, according to Q. So I think that we have a lot to look forward to. I also wanted to just take a minute and thank you guys, those of you that throw a coffee to me every now and then, and those of you that are Patreon supporters. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you, whether you contribute or not. I realize that there are people that just can't, and I certainly understand that and would never want you to do so if you're in a circumstance where funds are limited. But it does help, and it helps me continue to do what I'm doing, and I appreciate it. But I also appreciate all your comments and your suggestions, the funny things that you say. Actually, I have a couple of examples of that, and hopefully I'm going to be doing a video after this on Q-related news. We'll see how my energy holds out. I've been up since 7, and I feel like I've been going nonstop, but I do want to get this stuff out there, especially the Q drop. So let's just jump right in and get to what Q wants to tell us. And the first one is what I just said. Q said, boom week ahead. Treason doesn't pay well in the end. Q. So something is about to go down. Something big is about to go down. And I believe it has to do with James Comey, and you will see why I think that in a moment. But I just wanted to remind you of 18 U.S. Code 2381, treason. And it says, whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies and giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere is guilty of treason and shall suffer death, or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under this title, but not less than $10,000, and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States. So that is what treason is. It is the definition under the U.S. Code, and that is what will befall those who engage in treasonous activities. And we know that that applies to a great number of people right now. So, it kind of worries me a bit when I see not less than 5 years, because that's not nearly enough for these people. But I think that's probably for light cases and not the kind of thing that we're talking about here. And also fined $10,000. Well, to these people, $10,000 is a pocket change. So that's not even punitive, really. When you're a multimillionaire, $10,000 is not a punitive fine, if you ask me. So anyway, we will be looking forward to justice being served, and we'll be looking forward to what's going to be coming out this week. I'm kind of on pins and needles because I've been expecting it. We know that May is going to be the big month, and we're halfway through, just about. So we know it's coming. Okay, now the next one is this, and interestingly enough, it is post 3333, and it says, gives us a link to a Twitter account for Representative Doug Collins, and then Q says, eyes on. Q, pay attention. Get your eyes on, pay attention. And this is the tweet from Representative Doug Collins. Democrats have launched a proxy war smearing the Attorney General when their anger actually lies with the president and the special counsel who found neither conspiracy nor obstruction. Full statement below. Chairman Nadler knows full subpoena compliance requires Attorney General Barr to break the law. Yet, instead of introducing legislation allowing the Attorney General to provide Congress grand jury material, Democrats move to hold him in contempt. They know the Justice Department is working to negotiate even as they pursue contempt charges, making their move today illogical and disingenuous. Democrats have launched a proxy war smearing the Attorney General when their anger actually lies with the President and the special counsel who found neither conspiracy nor obstruction. Now, this is extremely well written and very concise, so I'm glad that Q pointed this out because I had not seen it and would not have seen it had he not pointed it out. So this is good. And Q is telling us, eyes on, pay attention. And of course, we know that subpoena would have required the Attorney General to break the law. So he can't comply with it. But if he doesn't, he's held in contempt. So it's kind of, and I hate this expression, but it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. It doesn't matter what he does, it's not going to be right. So anyway, let's move on. And here is the next Q post from today. And it says, attempts by Dems, fake news in capitals, and those guilty of treason to shape public narrative prior to by providing falsehoods will fail. Truth to light. No sleep in D.C. Q. And I believe that is probably so, that those in D.C., those who this applies to, are probably not getting much sleep because they know that the big one is about to drop. And they are trying to prepare as best they can, but they know that as whatever they do, it's going to fail. And we know that because Q has just told us that. He said attempts by the Dems and fake news and those guilty of treason to shape the public narrative. And that's exactly what they try to do. Mainstream media has been guilty of that for a very long time, to try to shape the opinion of the public. But Q says it's going to fail. And they do that by providing falsehoods, but it's going to fail. And we know that they're already doing that. They're already scrambling to save themselves. And in Q-related news, we can see a lot of different things that they are attempting to try to shape the narrative and shift it away from where it really should be. But it's not going to work. In the end, it's going to fail. It might succeed temporarily. You know, you've heard lose the battle but win the war. Well, yeah, Trump's lost a few battles, but he's going to win the war. And that's just bottom line. So let's move on here. Now these little tiny ones are not Q posts that are current, but they are past Q posts, and I have stuck them in here because they're relevant to what is happening right now and about to happen. So I stuck them in, and we're going to go down. We're going to go to the next Q post, and then I'm going to read some prior Q posts that tie into it. All right. Now here is the next one. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I know some of you are on your phones and I can appreciate that. All right. Now remember when Comey takes these odd, really weird pictures, just staring off. You know, the one was taken in the woods. He had one in a cornfield. He's had, I think, two now. On the road, one where he's walking the middle line, and he said, I'm in for 2020. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, so an Anon, I believe this was an Anon. Let me check here. Yes, an Anon posted this on the Chans, and Q obviously picked it up. And it has Mother of All Bombs. And here is Comey in the middle of the road, standing there with his arms crossed, and he says, S-H-I-T. And I bet you that is what he's saying. Like, uh-oh, it's coming, and I can't, at this point, if that was real, I mean, in real life, at that point, there's nothing you can do, right? I mean, you're going to be hit. You're going to die. Not that I'm hoping that he dies. I don't want that. I do want justice to be done, whatever form that takes. All right. Now, beneath it, it says, Boom Time Baker. And Q acknowledges it. So Q would not have referred to this if he didn't agree with it. And I also notice, we reference Lisa May Crowley quite a bit because she is really a fine patriot and very, very good at decoding. So I have included her tweets and so forth on and off in Q-related news and in the Q drops. But it's interesting because, Trump retweeted her. I think it was today. So to me, all these people that say, well, Trump's never really acknowledged Q. Yeah, that's one of the biggest Q decoders there is. So yeah, I think that is, he's not going to retweet somebody that he disagrees with their basic philosophy or their he's not. So their ideology, what have you. And she is a very strong patriot, but she's a very strong Q supporter and follower. So for him to retweet that, to me, is significant. Anyway, let's go on here. So we've got Q acknowledging this from the Anon. And now, again, this is not from today's post. This is a prior Q post, and I want to make that clear. It's from April 27th, and it's 2019, so it's not that many days ago. And there was this post by an Anon, the warrior. A warrior is the protector of his family and those in need. A warrior is the guardian of the ways of honor and courage. A warrior will not put his own desires above what is right. Above all, a warrior is always motivated by his utmost duty. And beneath that, this Anon, beneath this, Q acknowledged this picture and saying, and he said, D-class is coming. All right, so we know that. Now, beneath that, Q, responding to his earlier response here, says D-class pre or post Inspector General report. Is it going to be before the Inspector General report or after? Comey, is that going to come before the Inspector General's report or after? Well, Q answers that. C, Comey comes before D-class. So according to this, we've got Comey, whatever's going to happen there, and that's the mother of all bombs that's headed straight for him. We've got Comey, we've got the D-class, and then we have the Inspector General's report, which I believe is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. All right. So I wanted to include that so that we know the time frame. I know I've covered it before in the past, but in case you've forgotten or in case you didn't catch that, I wanted to make sure you knew. And this is from February 19th of 2019, a former Q post. And it says, it's referring to, let me read this first. It's referring to this tweet by Comey, okay? And here is the tweet. Every time you assault and stereotype a person, you've ripped the social fabric. Every time you see that person deeply and make him or her feel known, you've woven it. And that is a quote by David Brooks on February 18th, the New York Times. And it says, David Brooks is right that we all need to be weavers if we are to heal our beloved country. Well, you know that Q responded to that, of course, and this is what he said. Drop put you on notice. Direction to bunker down. Stop talking or risk being assaulted. A woven, elaborate nest will not save or protect you, nor will the CIA further provide you with actionable intelligence. Cold on the outside, traitor's justice. Q. So it's interesting because he says direction to bunker down, stop talking or risk being assaulted, a woven elaborate nest. So even a bunker, and I think that that's what he's talking about, even a bunker is not going to save you or protect you. And the CIA, they're not going to give you any more intelligence because obviously they had been passing intelligence to Comey, right? Or Q wouldn't say that. So CIA, they're not going to be giving you that intelligence anymore. Yeah, and your bunker's not going to keep you safe. Yeah. Also, I agree, it's kind of cold on the outside, isn't it? But that is a traitor's justice. So that is Q. That is our Q. And awesome. And I just, I threw these in there because they are completely relevant to what is happening right now. And we know that something big is going to happen this week with James Comey. All right. And here are 3 more prior posts. And so let's look at this. This is from September 11th, 2018. Panic in D.C. Bruce Orr in effort to save Nellie Orr testifying against Rosenstein, Yates, Lynch, and Comey. He puts a question mark there, but we know that's not a question. He's telling us that Bruce Orr is testifying against Rosenstein, Yates, Lynch, and Comey. So, yeah. And then, here is another one. September 11th, 2018. He says, panic in D.C. James Baker testifying against Comey. He asks it as a question. We know it's a statement. James Baker is testifying against Comey. All right. And as is Bruce Orr. So Bruce Orr and James Baker are testifying against Comey. Then here is another one from September 11th, 2018. Panic in D.C. Comey in communication with McCabe regarding testimony story. Q. So Q, we don't need to know that. We didn't need to know that he was in communication with McCabe regarding what he was going to say for his testimony. So why did Q include that? Because he wanted Comey to know that they knew that he was communicating with McCabe regarding his testimony. Remember, FISA goes both ways. They were being spied on as well. FISA goes both ways. All right, so let's go on here, and I think that may have been the last Q post for today. Of course, Q still has an hour and 10 minutes to post, but this is the last post for today. I will go out, if you can be patient for a second, I will go out and make sure that Q has not posted anything additional while I've been talking, but let's go ahead and refresh this, and he may still post. Like I said, there's another hour and 10 minutes. No, we are completely up to date with the Q post for May 12th, Sunday, Mother's Day. If Q posts in the next hour and 10 minutes, I will pick that up on tomorrow's video. So that is it for tonight for the Q post. I may come back and do a rather short Q-related news. And so I will see you then. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you all. And hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you had a great day. So stay safe, stay well, and always seek truth. I will talk to you guys real soon. Hope to see you back.